Hi, this is Debbie Hodge with Get It Scrapped and Masterful Scrapbook Design with the introduction to Tension, Story, Focus, and Flow, Advanced Design Lessons for Scrapbookers. You've read about design principles and you're using your knowledge of them to make your pages, and still you feel like you can make better pages. You're adding repetitions with variety, you have a focal point, everything's visually balanced, and yet your pages don't feel remarkable. Is there more? Are there rules no one's telling you about? There is more. Indeed, there are touches that matter, touches that aren't obvious once they've been done, and yet a problem when they're not done. Approaches that are less easy to articulate than those principles you might remember with the mnemonic ECBARF. And if you don't remember that, be sure to check out our free class, Design Principles for the Scrapbook page. There are choices that skilled designers make with an almost subconscious understanding of what will dazzle the eye and deliver a story that satisfies. This class builds on your basic knowledge of visual design principles, giving you approaches for taking your designs to the next level by focusing on the addition of tension, story, focus, and flow. In this class, I will cover 10 aspects of amping up your page, and those will fall into 3 areas. The first is tension. Tension is a balance between opposing forces, and it's an important element for making something beautiful. You'll find it in the best fiction, painting, dance, sculpture, and scrapbook pages. Tension's effective because it gets attention. When you set up a situation with tension, the viewer feels like something isn't quite right. Something might happen that they don't want to miss. To create tension on your scrapbook pages, you need to make things a bit uncomfortable, and a bit is the important caveat here. Too much tension is going to give you chaos. So I'm going to show you 3 ways to get those bits of tension on your page. The next 4 lessons of this class fall into the area of story. A page that tells a story has more impact than one that shows photos without sharing the details that aren't obvious. You'll see how to use title and journaling, both their content and their rendering, to make story and text a dynamic part of your page designs. Successful storytelling on the scrapbook page requires attention to both content and look. How you render the title and journaling, which typefaces and products you use, and the shape these elements fill all contribute to the power of the story on your page. The final section of the class covers advanced techniques for focus and flow on your scrapbook page. A viewer needs a way and a reason to enter into your page. The focal point's the center of a design, and attention to detail can strengthen the draw of that focal point. After the focal point, there should be a hierarchy of emphasis so that after the viewer takes in this starting point, he or she knows where to look next, and then next, and then next. The result is that the viewer gets what your page is about. Before we dig into the first lessons, I want to talk about the painting, Chalk Cliffs on Rügen, by Caspar David Friedrich that I chose for the cover of this class. I chose it because I found it compelling and pleasing, and because tension, story, focus, and flow all contribute to its draw and appeal. As I take in the painting, my eyes are drawn first to the view of the sea, a central and large expanse framed by tree branches and white cliffs. Next, I look at the woman in red. I'm curious about the story and worried about the safety of her as she looks to be on a steep incline near the edge of the cliff, perhaps holding onto the branches and the brush next to her. How strong are those branches? And how safe is this man leaning over the cliff? And what is he doing or looking at? And what is the other man looking at? Why are they all here, and what keeps them here? My eye has moved from the sea through the trio, and then it moves back out to the sea, and then I want to look again more closely because I'm curious and wondering what will happen next. I'm wondering about both the literal story and the artist's deeper message. Now let's see how you can use tension, story, focus, and flow to get your viewers involved in your pages.